Welcome to another episode of the Upstate Golf Guys podcast, where 518 golfs the Cape and everything in between. Before we get started with tonight's episode, I want to give a shout out to John DeLee Realty. He's tonight's sponsor. Realize your dream with Kareem when you're buying your house here in Troy, New York. He's done big things in Troy. He's a hustler. He'll sell your house in 2 days and find you a house in 2 days. I know from experience. Give him a shout. That's John DeLee Realty. So we have a special guest on with us tonight. I'm actually rocking his clothing right now. He's out of Syracuse, New York, so he's a fellow upstate guy, kind of. We really don't know where the upstate cuts off. He says Syracuse is definitely upstate. His name is Pat, and he has a company, Don't Get Greedy Golf Apparel. What's up, Pat?
Hey, how you doing? Good to be here.
Thanks for coming on. Well, why don't we ask everybody this? When did you get into golf? Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, so great question. So I probably started really playing golf. I was probably about 12 years old. I had a good friend in middle school, and his dad just started taking us. So that's almost 20 years ago. I've basically played every weekend that I possibly could. Snow allowing in upstate New York, probably for almost the last 20 years. So I'm pretty obsessed. I watch it, YouTube videos, tournaments, and now finally into the merchandise and business game of it. So it's been really cool, and it's been a long time coming, I think.
It's awesome, yeah. And the merchandise end of it is called Don't Get Greedy. Don't Get Greedy Golf. Well, tell us a little bit about that. When did you get started with that?
Yeah, so I started, I officially opened the store, I think, at the end of November. And have just kind of been building things up. Social media is so huge. So on Instagram and Facebook and, just networking with guys like you and the crew here. So it's been really good. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I'm sure you guys can attest as golfers, everyone needs something to do during the winter. So it's been really cool to get it started over the last couple months here.
Yeah, it's tough here in upstate New York. In the wintertime, it gets pretty depressing. Part of the reason why we got into this podcast thing, something to do, hang out with the guys, just talk golf and network, meet people like yourself in the golf world on the internet. The internet has grown the game so much in just the past 3-4 years, like you said, with the YouTube golfers alone. It's pretty cool what they're doing down. They're going to have that in Myrtle Beach. They're inviting all the YouTube golfers. See, Fat Perez is going to be going and competing. Yeah, with a chance to get on. Basically, if the winner of that is going to get on the Korn Ferry Tour. So it's pretty cool thing what they're doing with the YouTube golfers and kind of giving them a shot, because some of them are good sticks.
Fat Perez has a special place in my heart as a bigger guy and a golfer with a beard. He's everything I aspire to be.
He's awesome. So you got started in 2023. I think it says right here, established 2023.
Yeah.
So just last year, you really went live with it. And how has it been going so far? I mean,
it's been good. It's definitely a slow build and trying to make everything high quality and make it the way I want it. I'd rather have everything look and feel the way that I want it to, as opposed to just trying to, sell as much as possible at the start. So I feel like once I kind of get everything figured out the way I like it, it'll make my life a lot easier as far as the marketing side of it. And then,
Roger, you got to pick up. It's like a nice lightweight. I mean, it's perfect for the summer mornings or like the summer afternoons.
I got one.
Oh, you did? You picked up a quarter zip too? Yeah, so the material is like
it's myself and my daughter. So when we go out and play those late night rounds, we'll be out there rocking the Don't Get Greedy shirts.
Absolutely, I love the name too. Where did you think of that name? Like, where did Don't Get Greedy come from?
Yeah, so it's actually organically. So me and a close friend of mine who I've been playing with probably for the last 10 or so years. Basically, we just started saying it to each other. The way I look at it, it's kind of like take your medicine. What a lot of people say. I'd be under a tree, off the fairway. I got 180 yards to the green, and I'm trying to think up some, can I hit a cut over that bunker, get it on the green, and still have a chance for a birdie? And he would say to me, or I would say to him, just don't get greedy. Hit it back out in the fairway, get back on the green, have a chance to save your par, as opposed to, getting those doubles and those triples that I'm sure we're all very used to, when things start to go off the rails. So it's pretty simple. I mean, that's really where it started. Just don't get greedy, kind of stay within yourself. I mean, we all like to think we know how good a golfer we are.
Too much.
Yeah, you know, everyone knows what that's about.
Go for it, man.
Yeah, everyone wants to hit the par. Everyone wants to hit the par 5 and 2. Like, let's be honest.
His favorite saying is, "Man, layups are for basketball. We'll
Yep.
leave layup for basketball."
I would say, it might be my company's name, but I don't abide by it every time.
No, I think it's a great attitude. I really love. I love the saying. I mean, I'm not greedy. I know this guy might be, but out on the golf course, I take each shot for what it is and take it with respect. And golf is a game of respect. You can't get greedy out there on the golf course.
Keep layups in basketball.
Yeah,
so what would you say? What would you say your favorite piece of clothing you guys have is so far? Your clothing line that you personally wear.
Yeah, so I mean, this is my favorite. I'm a huge Syracuse fan. Obviously, basketball and football being from here, but I've always had a special place in my heart for the Carolina blue color. So this in Carolina blue. I've got a golf shirt in Carolina blue. I have a long sleeve in Carolina blue. So this is a personal favorite of mine. As far as sales and everything, the quarter zips are awesome. And then a lot of the crew neck sweatshirts, so like the no hoodie sweatshirts, those are probably the top seller, honestly. And
cool. Your hoodies look really comfortable. They look nice, actually. And they're not like the cheesy. You could tell they're quality made, like not the cheesy stamped on, It's like same thing with this. This is nice. You're not gonna some of these things you buy, you wash a few times, and it's gonna it's gonna peel off. You could tell this is quality. It's not not cheaply made, like you said. You make your stuff perfect how you want them, and I like that. How you would want your stuff. Not get cheap in the way out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm definitely getting one of these things.
Dope, right? And it's like I said, it's breathable and you're in upstate New York too. You know how the mornings can be here, even in the summertime.
Yeah, and I'm an early golfer. I'm like a first tee time if I can get it, because I am not a patient golfer. I hate being behind people. I hate slow play. So those cold mornings, it's hard to be out there, and you're freezing cold. We all know that first swing where you kind of like tweak your back a little bit, or you hit it off the end and your hands go. You get the pins and needles. So definitely something to have.
That 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah. It's good to have that extra layer. By hole 3, I'm down to the golf shirt, but it's good for those early rounds for sure.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Roger. Were you going to say something?
Now, do you design everything yourself?
Yeah, so everything is designed myself. I use some websites online. I'm not that creative. Frankly, my wife was a huge help with it. So I basically had the idea. I actually have to give her credit. So she actually went to some sort of like a craft fair or something like that one day. And she came home and she's like, people sell all these shirts and all these things, and some of them are so ridiculous. She goes, I don't know why you couldn't do this. She goes, you've been starting this don't get greedy thing for years. Why don't you just do it?
Yep.
So, it came around really quick, and she actually was the one that told
it's
me.
Nice having the support from the wife, isn't it? Because she's been helping me a ton with this thing. She's kind of behind the scenes. She made my whole website. She's cropping all the pictures of my hats, putting them on the website, all the work she's doing, stuff I could not do. Shout out to Andrea. Like you said, the wives are kind of behind the scenes helping us out. They don't get enough credit. It's great having that kind of support.
I take some picture to put on Instagram, and she's like, "You can't put that on Instagram." She goes, "Give me your phone. You have
a little young one yourself, right?
Yeah. I have a little boy, almost 1.5. So he's got his toy golf clubs. He usually just hits one of us with them, but hopefully by the time it gets warm out, I can try to teach him how to at least
I have a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old, and we deal with the same thing. So it's the 7-year-old's actually one of the videos is on Instagram. I've been getting her lessons, and she's coming along. But the 2-year-old just smacks us with the club, the little plastic club. She But
They're just beating utensils at this point right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
everything is with a kid that age.
for sure, absolutely, man. Anything else you want to like tell us about your brand? I mean, while we have you on for all the listeners, I mean, I love the idea. I love the Don't Get Greedy logo. What I'm wearing is super comfortable. But what's your your Etsy website?
Yeah, so the website is it's don'tgetgreedy.etsy.com. So if you go to my Instagram, it's listed right in the little title there.
Yep.
You know,
And your Instagram is Don't Get Greedy Golf.
It's don't get greedy 315.
Gotcha. Okay.
So somebody already had Don't Get Greedy, so I had to throw the local flavor in there.
Yeah. So you said you're a Syracuse fan. I got to tell you a funny story. Actually, I don't gamble anymore, so I won't be doing a bracket this year. For the first year, I kind of this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this thing too. I was a compulsive gambler. I said I have to quit gambling and find something else to take my time up. So, but when I used to bet a lot, I would do all the brackets and everything. And back when Jerry McNamara and Carmelo Anthony won me a ton of money, I won like I don't know, there was like 2,000 people in the bracket, and it was only like a $10 bracket, but it was just because there were so many people, and I think I was like the only person in the whole group that had Syracuse winning it all.
Yeah,
and it was fun, man. But I definitely remember what was the national championship? Probably 2004,
2003. Yep,
Okay,
2003. My friends and everyone says I use if I actually had anything else in my brain besides old sports knowledge, I might be pretty smart, because I could probably tell you, every player on that team. I was watching the game before this, so unfortunately, even as a father in his 30s, I still live and die a little too much with
Hakeem Warwick with the block at the end. I'll never forget that.
The block in the corner. I wish I was a little older.
Craig Forth was from
Troy guy.
I grew up playing with Craig Forth.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day, high school. We graduated the same year. He was we played. His father, growing up, we went to a Sam Perkins basketball camp, and his father, the kid was like 6'11" in this 8th grade, and his father wouldn't let him jump. He would literally just tell him to stand there and put his arms up. Would have let him jump. And I remember there was one time he used to shoot from behind his head. So he was sitting there getting ready to take a shot, and I jumped as high as I could at 8, 9 years old to block this shot. And I blocked it. So I lived by that. I blocked the 7-footer shot in 8th grade, 7th grade. I don't even know how old I was, but he was a decent hooper. He started every game while he was at Syracuse.
He was a big body. He was,
I actually almost got to play with those guys.
With his zone defense that Bayham ran. He with what was it, the 2-3 or whatever it was. He filled up that center. I mean, he was with his wingspan was what? I mean, it was gigantic. The guy was
He was huge. A funny story about Craig Forth that I have. So my dad was my father was a phys ed teacher in the city of Syracuse for 35 years, and they had student teachers come in every year, and in one year they're coming in for the first day, or graduate students getting their masters, whatever it was, and in walk a couple people, and then right behind them in walks Craig Forth. So Craig Forth was actually one of his student teachers for a month or two when he was teaching. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think I heard that he's
up here at elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they went on some run. I remember when they beat Texas. They weren't supposed to beat Texas. I think was that maybe the Elite Eight or the Final Four. I think it was
that was the Final Four game.
When they beat Texas, and
then they beat Kirk Heinrich in the Kansas team. Yeah.
Then the Kansas was the final game, and I remember I was pretty excited. I was only 16, 17 years old, and
been to Syracuse once. That's when the high schools do their finals at the Dome.
Yeah,
and Lansingburg High School made it one
football,
year.
Yeah,
I remember going.
Oh, for football.
Yeah, football.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I was like, what did you find? I was talking about exams.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, football. Troy High went. How many years in a row did Troy High go, Roger?
Yep.
Roger's delayed over there.
Every year I was in high school except one.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a little delayed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went every year except 1 year. I think my senior year of high school was the only year we didn't go.
Crazy.
Yeah, Anthony Canty, remember him?
Nah, I don't.
Roger does.
Dude was a monster.
Dude was an animal. I remember that dude. I used to go to games, and I didn't even go to Troy High, but the dude used to it was a thing to do because they were so good. And the dude used to literally carry like 3 kids on his back and run like 40 yards. He was he was a man child for his size. He could have Anthony Canty could have went anywhere. Right, Raj? He's delayed.
He literally had so he played basketball with me all through all 4 years, and he came in the locker room one day, and he had a stack of letters. You name it. Every school in the Northeast was looking to recruit this kid, and he just
couldn't pass, right? He never graduated.
yeah, I don't think he could do the SAT scores was the big thing back then, and I don't think he came anywhere close. I bet he had a tough time spelling Anthony correct.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
I'll tell you one thing about my football
With
career that led to golf. Actually, my freshman year, I finally said I'm going to play football. I'm a bigger guy, and I went to freshman camp or tryouts, whatever it is. I lasted maybe 30 minutes, and I went to the coach and I said, "Coach, I don't have it." You know, I gave him my pads. I walked off and I went and started to play golf instead. Yeah. So that's the football golf connection for me.
I watched all my friends and stuff play, and I wasn't. I'd rather play baseball.
Yeah,
baseball was a lot easier on the practices. No 2-a-days. Yeah. I'd rather run hills.
Yeah, Mike. If you were a golfer, I know you sliced or if you were a baseball player, I know you sliced the golf ball.
Absolutely.
Every one of us slices the golf ball.
Yep.
He still has a baseball swing. He still has it.
Can't shake it.
All right, we're back on golf. I want to ask Pat. I like to ask everybody a couple golf questions, before we let you go. What is your favorite club in your bag?
Oh, 7-iron.
Okay.
7-iron. So the reason for that, this is maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I just completely lost my driver, the yips, whatever you want to call it. So probably for 2 or 3 years, I teed off on every hole with my 7-iron.
I love it.
Luckily for me, I figured out how to hit my 7-iron like 230, 240. So, and I knew it would go straight. My driver would go far, but I didn't know where. So 7-iron has never done me any wrong. And even now, if I'm losing it a little bit, don't get greedy. Go right back to the 7-iron.
There you go. That's where the don't get greedy comes in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Staple that right to your 7-iron.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, mine. You know what? Mine is my 7-iron, but I love my 7-iron, but for different reasons. I hit it the cleanest off of the fairway. I mean, I always have trouble with my 6 and my 5. I don't know if they're a little bit longer. And then, then when I go up to my 8 or 9, I end up chunking it a little bit. 7, I just always hit clean. I always hit my 7-iron clean off the fairway. So that's actually one of my favorite clubs too. Roger, what's your favorite club?
I'd say my 7 or my 3 hybrid. I always hit my 3 hybrid well.
Mike?
Yeah, mine's the A wedge. I always go to my A wedge, short game.
This kid's 150 in. I mean, I'll outdrive him by 50 yards, but I'm telling you, the kid goes up to 4 or 5 foot putts and just doesn't even look at it and just knocks it in and pisses me right the F off.
Can't overthink him.
It doesn't matter how far you can hit it if you can't putt.
Exactly.
Me and this guy, we shoot in the 80s, and
drive for show, putt for dough.
We'll battle back and forth. We'll battle back and forth all year long. We're in this little we're in a tour, competitive tour type thing too that we just started last year. It's a ton of fun. You should look into it actually. And we only come out really. Maybe you could. What would be cool is how far away are you from Turning Stone? Because they do invite guests to come play.
Yeah, I'm probably only like an hour from Turning Stone.
Yeah, maybe the Turning Stone event if you want to come. I could get you the dates. I don't know exactly when they are. It's the end of August, but we do live scoring. So like when you're on like the 7th, 8th hole, you can kind of see where you're at, and it's all flighted. So I'll admit it. I'm in D flight, which is 17.9 handicap and above. Mikey's with me. I'm right on the cusp though. I won D-Flight last year, which was pretty cool. So I get a few perks this year. I get a free 2-day event. I got my entry for free. So it's definitely fun, man.
Listen to him gloat.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
D-Flight.
I got a nice little trophy out of it.
Just won it. Not a big deal.
So you touched on this. You said I was going to ask you if you played any other sports. You said you played baseball and football. You tried football.
Yeah, a very brief football career. I did play basketball up until my junior year of high school. I still play a little bit. I can't jump and can't run anymore. But then baseball was my best sport. So I played first base in high school. I couldn't run, I couldn't throw, but good hands and a decent bat. So I played all the way through probably from 7 or 8 years old all the way up till I graduated high school. So that was definitely my best sport at the time. Yep. Probably better at golf than I ever was at baseball.
Yeah, I played baseball, just little league though. But my big sport was actually hockey. I played hockey my whole life.
Oh, nice.
Maybe that's why I like golf. Little slap shot, kind of like driving the ball. I don't know. But,
yeah,
weird. My hockey is I'm a lefty for hockey.
Yeah, and you drive righty. Maybe you should try lefty clubs.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, you might be a stick. You might be a stick lefty, Mike.
At this point, anything will help.
I batted lefty my whole life. Had no lefty golf clubs. Taught myself to golf righty.
It's amazing.
No way. Wow.
I tell people that, and they're like, "Get out of here." And he shoots in the 80s, low 80s.
That's crazy.
I know. Yeah. Any hole-in-ones?
No hole-in-ones. No hole-in-ones. I've come close a couple times, but that doesn't mean anything.
It's funny. I could ask men that have been playing for 40 years, and they'll say, "No, I came close." But then you see this little 9 or 10-year-old that's like, "Oh, I had 2 in the past 2 weeks." I'm like, "What?" Like,
yeah. My next question is do you consider a simulator golf a hole-in-one if you get one? Do you
simulator
consider
golf,
it a real hole-in-one?
Absolutely not.
All right, there you go. Thumbs up.
I agree.
Don't get greedy.
I will say, hole-in-one wise, my dad I play probably with the most. He's a pretty decent golfer, like the low 90s golfer. He 4 or 5 years ago hit a hole-in-one, and one of the rare times I didn't play with him. And I haven't lost a round of golf to my dad in 15 years. Every time we get to that hole, it's at Green Lakes. If you guys know where, if you guys have played there, the second hole at Green Lakes, every single time we pull up to that tee box, he goes, "Did you know?" He goes, "Did you know I had a hole-in-one here?"
Absolutely.
Yeah, no matter what.
What course was that now? Green Lakes?
Green Lakes. I don't know if you ever played there, right out in Fayetteville.
That's right out in Syracuse?
Yeah, really
nice.
Nice.
I was going to ask you that was one of my questions. What's the nicest course in the Syracuse area for listeners out that way? I mean, not private, because everyone knows that we can't get on country clubs. That's for those rich folks. But what's the nicest public course?
Yeah, so I would Green Lakes is beautiful. It's actually, I think it's a Robert Trent Jones design. That's probably my favorite course. It's they just take care of it so well. They just did a huge rebuild of it. They actually got the groundskeeper from Bethpage Black down in the Long Island area, moved up here and totally redid the course. That's an absolutely beautiful course. So I would say definitely that. There's a couple places out in Baldwinsville, Timber Banks. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. It's a really, really nice, very hard golf course. And I won't get into the private places. I've only gotten invited there. I've never been able to afford actually playing there all the time. But yeah, I would say Green Lakes is going to always be my number one.
I might have to throw that idea out to Adam, our tour director, because we're always looking for new courses in New York. I mean, we're considered upstate tour, but I mean, we go over to Massachusetts, we go to Vermont, we travel a couple hours away. So going to Syracuse isn't out of the picture. It's only about an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours from Albany, I'd say.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I've played at a lot of public courses and nice courses and expensive course. I wouldn't put any of them over Green Lakes as far as how well it's taken care of. And they just do an amazing job. So
have you ever gotten to the Turning Stone courses? Have you ever played?
I've played one of them. At my old job, we actually had an outside sales guy bring us there trying to sell us.
Was it the one that sounds like G, but it's spelled with a K?
Yeah. Cuyahoga or something like
whatever
that.
it was. But I'll tell you what, I left that last year. We're playing Shenandoah this year.
Yeah.
I left that course last year miserable. I mean, it just beat the shit out of me.
Yeah,
I mean,
that course is tough.
It was the problem was what I didn't like about it is it was really long, and then with the blind uphill shots, unless you know the course, I was like, I would crush the ball, and then the green is surrounded by 18 bunkers, and I'm in this deep bunker. Like there was probably 200 bunkers on that course, and then you got the tall grass. It's just, I don't know. It's not a course for me. It's beautiful course, but they say
absolutely beautiful.
Shenandoah, they say, plays a little bit easier, but it just, I mean, I'll average me. These guys, me and Mikey are about the same. Roger's definitely better than me. I'm on paper a 17.9 handicap, but I shoot in the high 90s a lot too. And that course, I think came out of there like with a 108 or something, and I was just like, fuck this place. I was miserable.
I mean, when courses are that hard, if you don't know where you're hitting the ball, or you don't have someone helping you to tell you where you need to hit the ball, I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Your day is miserable.
Well, that's what I mean. I would think I had an awesome shot, and then we'd go up and look. I couldn't find the ball because of all the tall grass, and it was just it's you didn't know the course, which has made it. I think if I knew it and played it a few times, and maybe it would make a difference. But it's those courses they'll beat you up. I think. I mean, like I said, that was the only one I played. But I don't know, Mikey, what did you shoot out there? You were in the hundreds. I think you were worse than me.
I was up
I
there.
think the winner of D-Flight shot like a 101 of D-Flight, and I was like a 107. That was the winner. And usually the winners of D-Flights and other courses shoot like 89, 88 in that range. Like, and I remember the winner shot in the hundreds, and like that's the normal for that, I guess.
Place is fucking gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely practice area. I mean, everything about it for sure.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. And I played there. I think I don't know what I shot, maybe in the high 80s, and I'm like an 8.1. So I'm not used to. I like to be in the 70s. So when I got out of there, I mean, it was like playing a different sport. Those are like true pro level courses.
Yeah. You come out of there really respecting the game a lot more. Like, wow, these guys
humbled,
play these courses
very humbled.
Humbled, exactly. Pretty, I mean, hopefully...
Don't want to touch your clubs for a couple weeks.
Yeah, you're talking to them on the way home.
Yeah, I was questioning myself for a couple days after that. Sure. I'm gonna look into that Green Lakes. I'm actually gonna message Adam as soon as we get off here. I'm gonna see, because we have a few more. And if we get out there, then you have no excuse, man. You got to join. Not join, but come as a guest. Like I said, what he does is he maxes out at like I think it's 56 guys, but he hasn't. There's over 100 in the actual league tour, but it's a week-to-week thing. You kind of pick and choose when you want to go, and he's never had it filled. So, like a couple of days before, he'll open it to the public. Like if anybody has friends that want to come play. The only thing is you can't leave with a trophy. He said it'll go to the next guy in line. If you win it, you could win the money. You could win skins. You could still be in for all that, but they're not going to give you a trophy if you're not part of the tour.
That's fine. I'll have to make my own.
Joining the tour is only $100 too.
Yeah, so but if he lives out there and there's only I wouldn't spend $100 to join it if you're only going to go to a couple of the events. Part of the whole thing is getting on some courses we can't get on. He's got a couple private courses lined up in the area here, so. It's definitely a ton of fun.
Good time.
Oh, absolutely. Even if you suck at golf.
If you guys are at Green Lakes, I will be there.
Well, I think we should just make a road trip.
Maybe we'll just do a road trip and get a foursome going.
Yeah, let me know.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. We got a foursome.
So that's a nice little easy day trip. Stop at Turning School on the way back. I'm down.
You sick bastard! I got to stay in the car. I can't go to that place. I'll feel like I got to take a dump as soon as I pull in there with my anxiety.
You'll be all right. I'll give you a couple of gummies. You'll be all right.
All right, Pat. Well, do you want to give any more plugs before we let you go, Pat? I mean, you don't get greedy. 31. What was the numbers on Instagram?
The Instagrams don't get greedy 315.
Yep.
In the link of that in the bio of the Instagram is the Etsy store. It's don'tgetgreedy.etsy.com. T-shirts, sweatshirts, golf shirts, quarter zips, hats. Roger has one of the hats right behind him right there.
Yep.
So take a look.
This will be raffled off coming up Monday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about that. I didn't even talk about that, Pat. I really appreciate you for being part of our giveaway. Actually, the kid that won is good college buddy, friend of a college buddy, Brandon Realmonto. Stunto is his Instagram name, and he was psyched. He actually messaged me as soon as he won. He was really excited. He's like, "Oh, I'll take pictures with all this stuff. I'll post them on Instagram." I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude!"
That's
so
great.
I don't think a better person could have won the giveaway.
Yeah, no, that was fun. I'm glad to be involved in anything like that.
Absolutely, man, and get our name out there. Help. That's what this is all about: networking and help and share with each other. That's what I said to you at the beginning of this thing. Kind of share each other's ideas and just love the game of golf. We all love the game of golf, and we're just doing things a different way, I guess.
Make it grow.
Make it grow together,
and don't get greedy.
I love it.
Don't get greedy. Love it.
All right, Pat.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate your time, man.
We really do appreciate you coming on and taking the time, and hopefully we could play around together soon, man.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the spring. Appreciate you letting me come on, and we'll see you at Green Lakes.
Absolutely, man. See you at Green Lakes.
All right, take care.
All right, peace out.
Bye.
See ya.